woke up like a minute before you text me. I was like, holy shit, that was not good.
Alright. Well, alright, so let's get this thing started. What was that?
Are you recording now? How does this work?
I am recording right now.
Oh, okay, so Edwin is not confused anymore. Okay.
Yeah, I found out a few minutes ago that I can start recording on Skype. Yeah.
I didn't even know this was even possible over Skype. But then again, I guess if people can be doing D&D over this thing, I guess it works.
Alrighty. Okay, everyone. So thanks again for showing up here. Gundam-related podcast. I am still trying to come up with a name.
I mean, if you want to give it a good name, give it the name like something devastating, like Colony Drop.
Oh, no! No!
Okay, that might be a little bit too much.
Axis Drop. Like, Axis was a colony, right?
It was more of a natural resource satellite, honestly.
Okay. Or, you can't call it Operation Meter, because that's straight up copyrighted, I think.
I'm going to let my inner nerd out on this one. You can call it Operation British. That was actually the operation to drop the colony on Earth.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, this is a Gundam-related podcast in celebration of the 40th anniversary of Gundam in the West. No, Gundam all over the world, actually. But, so, how this will go, we will introduce ourselves first, and then we will talk about the 40th anniversary, and as well as the 25th anniversary of Gundam Wing in the West, because as of this past March, it did hit the 25th anniversary. Alrighty, nice. So let's go. Let's get cracking. My name is Marvin. I also go by MVious Cosplay. I've pretty much been building Gunpla kits ever since Gundam hit the West and Gundam Wing showed up, and then all the Gundam kits and the action figures started hitting stores. So that was pretty much my gateway into it. And afterwards, Florence G Gundam came along, and then the original aired on Toonami. Then we cut off a little bit because it was done. I thought it was over. I was wrong. Some of the video games like Dynasty Wars Gundam started coming out. I was like, what's Zeta Gundam? And I was like, oh no, that's not how you say it. It's Zeta Gundam.
Zeta, yeah.
So then a little weird thing with Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny came on Toonami. I did not like the English dub, and that English dub for a while. So, and then I discovered when YouTube started coming out, people started uploading things. And then I got into Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny because I watched the Japanese one. And then I started to like it. Not really Seed, but I like Seed Destiny more. I'm in that little tiny minority that does. And then, and so on.
I guess we're part of that same minority then. I like
it. Alrighty, Edwin, you're up.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Well, my name is Edwin. Like Marvin, I do cosplay. I do have a cosplay name that I never use, so I'm not even going to bother saying it. Wow, just thinking about the fact it's been the anniversary, just thinking how long I've liked Gundam, it's amazing. I have first started watching Gundam with Gundam Wing. I believe I was in the 8th grade on Toonami. I remember watching the trailer, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And then it came out, and I'm like, it started off really slow, and I'm like, "Oh, giant robots and all this talking." And then I started watching it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing on the planet." And then it just kind of went from there. Like Toonami was, I think everyone's gateway, not just in Gundam, but to anime in general. And so it went from Wing, and I think as time went on, I think the original Mobile Suit Gundam came on about a year later, and then on Midnight Run you had 0083. Midnight Run you had 08th MS Team, and then you had the first version of Adult Swim on the weekend, then you had 0083. And I think that's where 0080 was, which honestly, I'm sorry, I couldn't stand 0080. I could not. And like Marvin, huh? What?
0080 is War in the Pocket, or is that 8MS team?
That's War in the Pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when you had the RX-78NT Alex, the white and blue one.
Yeah.
Cool Mecha, terrible series. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. After that, I've pretty much seen, to kind of summarize everything, I've seen pretty much every Gundam series except Double Zeta, Victory Gundam, and I think the two newest ones that came out. The one right now where you like to build divers. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've seen all of those. In terms of Gunpla, I am 6'3" tall. I have about
Yeah.
about 8 stacks that are about as tall as I am. And they're all in,
like boxes.
Boxes.
Wow.
You have quite a backlog.
Yeah, well, you know what? When Gundam finally started coming back again in 2008, that was when I discovered this thing called Anime Expo, and oh sweet Jesus! So I went to the exhibit hall and I bought every mobile suit I could find, and I kept I kept doing it for years. At the moment, my record, and there's this Gundam hobby shop in, oh Lord, where is this at? I think it's in Fullerton. It's called Robots for Less, I believe, and I spent $700 worth. I bought $700 worth of Gundam in one day, to the point where they gave me a free Gundam Wing pinball machine, which I still have. Huh?
I need to hit that place up.
It's an awesome place. I'll take a picture of the pinball machine and send it to you. But so yeah, that's for me in Gundam. It's like it pretty much changed how I look at anime. You know, I'm like that Gundam guy. Like everybody has that fandom that they know way too much about. You know, it's like you hear something wrong and you're in the back of the room, just like no, that's not true. That did not happen.
I can tell when in the episode this happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you're standing there talking to someone, and they're like, "I know what I'm talking about." It's like, no, God damn it, no, you don't. So I'm that guy. To the point where I tried to put Gundam in. I play D&D, so I tried to put Gundam in Dungeons and Dragons, and I kind of broke the game. And yeah, trying to convert mobile suit specs to Gundam to D&D it's fun, it's interesting, and you will break stuff, lots of stuff. But there's more, but I'm taking too much time. But yeah, that's me. I know way too much about Gundam, and I need Jesus.
Well, there is the God Gundam, so
This is true. Yeah, that's actually very true. You're right.
All right, Gilbert, you're up.
So it's me, which I'm barely getting back into it now. It's been a long time. I mean, I'm gonna say my age. I'm 43. So I started I
not look 43.
but I am.
I don't feel it's bad now. Okay, I'm 34.
So no, I'm
Oh man, I'm a
43
baby in this.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you're a child.
So my love for giant robots in general, though, that started back in the 80s with like Massinger. So I love Massinger. And then obviously it went to Voltron, and then it just kind of stopped.
Right.
And then I was working up in Oregon, in Portland, in like early 2000s, and I was just walking around the mall, and the those little booths or the carts that they have in the middle of the mall. Well, there was this one that had like these giant robots, and I was like, okay, well, I'm stuck in a hotel room, for a month. What is this? And I've always liked model building, and I was like, oh, okay, Gundam, So I called my brother. I was like, hey, do you know any? Because he's 3 years younger than me, and I was like, do you know anything about this Gundam thing? He's like, yes. I was like, oh, and he kind of like started getting me, like introducing me, and you know, while I was in my hotel room, that's when I started actually building the models. So that's what got me into it. I wouldn't be able to watch it on like Toonami because the hotels that I was at, they didn't have like Cartoon Network. So I would kind of like catch little glimpses here, or my brother would like tell me more about it and everything. So I didn't get to really see like too much of Wing when that was the first one that I was introduced to. But then like slowly, like I would watch stuff like on YouTube, and like other like, you know, friends would send me clips and everything. So that's how I got more into it. Just more recently, I was like I was saying with I'm part of the minority that like Seed and Destiny. I'm really into them. But that's really it. You know, the models. I used to airbrush them when I was younger. I used to love to airbrush them. Now I just kind of like do like little minor paints, a little bit of weathering, panel lining, and that's about it. Have you guys heard of like the Flame toys by Bandai? They made the like Transformer lines.
I have.
Sounds familiar.
Really get into those because I think their prices, and they're about high grade size, but they're like master grade prices.
Yeah, they're the ones that I got. I got the 3 Seekers, so Starscream, you know, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. Those were about $34. They are like almost like the 1 to 100 like size and everything.
Yeah.
But they're okay, you know, and that's what I've had them for about a year, and then you know I was like, I'm gonna get an airbrush again. And you know I never got the airbrush again, and I finally just said I want to do something, you know, like especially right now that we're kind of like in quarantine. So I'm like, you know.
Like, for me, the only extra detailing that I
was telling Marvin, I pre-ordered, you know, some more Gunpla from a site. So
nice. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yep.
Cool. As for me though, in terms of I've gotten back to building after like quite a long while. I built my first 1 to 100 back in 2018 ever. I usually collect 1 to 144th scale, and that was the high res Wing Gundam 0.
Good job.
Okay.
That was not fun. A lot of the parts kept falling. And I'm like, you know what? Where's the super glue?
You know, I feel you on that one. I can't do 144 to save my life. I can't tell you how many times I have like almost punched my wall trying to put them damn things together. My first ever Gunpla I got back in 2000. It was a funny enough 144 Wing 0, not custom. It was from the series. And then after that,
that's how I started. That was my first one.
And I mean, I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's small. And then, you know, it's funny because I didn't know that it was an actual model kit. I thought, oh, it's an action figure. I can just, you know, take it out and play with it. And I opened the thing and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, why do I have to put my toy together? What the hell is it? You know, it took me 3 days to put that damn thing together. And then I did it, and I was so frustrated with it. I'm like, I hate you. I don't want to look at you. And I just put it on my dresser and didn't touch it. Because every time I looked at it, it pissed me off.
Like, I had no idea about like clippers or anything, so I would like pretty much manhandle the runners to get the part out.
Oh, that brings back memories.
Like I can't really play with this thing because all these pointy nubs are poking my fingers.
Yeah, I still have my. I think the other 3 suits I got was Heavy Arms Custom, an Epion, and Death Size Hell were the next 3 I got. And then after that, I didn't get another suit until I think it was a Zegok, Strike Freedom, and something else that I cannot freaking. Oh, well, the Zaku 1, and it melted. It melted. It fell. I was trying to do something and it fell into a barbecue pit, and I literally saw a Boba melt. And I was like,
died like that one guy going into the atmosphere.
Yes, exactly. You know, it was like a
Char's buddy
ball. That's messed up. It was a big ball of plastic, and I'm like, oh, this is fascinating, and yet I think I'm depressed. Yep, I'm depressed. Yeah, I died.
Imagine if you could have actually saved it. It would have been a great diorama piece.
You know, I thought so too, but then I thought fire equals pain.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, yeah, it would have been great. You know, we've been like, what happened? Oh, you know, Zaku, Mega Particle Cannon. You know, it happens.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we pretty much covered what the 40th anniversary. So what okay, so Edwin, you primarily collect 1 to 100 scale.
That is correct.
Okay, cool. I mostly do 1 to 144th because of, well, space.
Yeah.
I started getting into the real grade line this year.
I love the real grades.
Started off with the real grade new Gundam, and that was quite the experience. I was like, whoa, this is really cool. It looks like the master grade Kotoki version, but smaller.
The real grades are cool because you can actually build the internal frames and stuff. That's what I really like, and you can like you have to snap the armor plating on there, so the realism is actually really good. That's what I like about those.
Recently, I got the Wing Gundam EW first, and that was like, oh, this isn't like the new Gundam. I actually have these pre-assembled frame parts. Okay, and it came out pretty okay. I lined everything that I could. I added the decals, and then just last week I got the Wing Zero custom real grade, and for some reason that one is a lot more looser than the Wing Gundam, which is weird because from what I understand, the Wing Zero came out before the Wing real grade. I'm like, that's odd, but anyways, can't wait to build that real grade Tall Geese 3 coming in.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. Especially the heat rod shield.
I just never was one to build them. And it's kind of like the running, if you would have met anyone who've known me for years, people would say, you have all these Gundams, build them. And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't know why. I just could never really sit down and I've built a few, and then I'm like, I'm going to do it. And I'd sit there and stare at that box, and I'm like, I'm tired. I'm lazy. I just want to stare at it. Maybe I can find someone who can like build it for me. But I just never. I mean, it's like I have them, I love them, and people are like, "Oh yeah, straight from your cash, you can sell them." And I'm like, "I'll sell you, but I'm selling my Gundam. Dude, these are my babies." And I want to build them, but I don't know why. I mean, I can sit here for hours and do D&D stuff. I can sit here for hours and build other stuff, but when it comes to my Gundams, I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. and I know when you post your stuff, Marvin, and I see your stuff, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can just send my stuff to him and have him build it for me. I mean,
I would love to build kits.
He knows what the hell he's doing. Because that means I can probably send somebody. Because I have the full armor unicorn. You know what I'm talking about. The big one. Yeah.
I will be in my room for a week building.
And I just be like, hey Marvin, how you doing? Here you go. You can build my unicorn. I will love you forever. I might even buy you food. Maybe.
Oh my god. But the first time I ever saw that on the unicorn movie series, I was like, that's so cool, I want it. And then I saw at Frankenstein's one on display, I'm like, that looks like a week of work.
Yeah, I popped it open and looked at all the pieces. It's incredibly detailed. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's detailed. This is the largest kit I have, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to try to put together. I'm probably not gonna do it, but you know what? Somebody will. I know I'm probably losing some browning points with Gundam fans. Like, you don't put together your Gundam? No, I don't.
Like someone from the early episodes of the English dub of Wing when you said that.
So, what's his name? I could not stand his voice. It was hilarious. It was, you remember General Septum?
Yes, that's the name.
That his voice. He was like, "You're telling me you can't do this, and then the Gundam's coming down to the planet. You don't know what you're doing." And I'm like, "My God, man, do you talk like this?" I'm like, "Oh, good, they dropped you out of an airplane." So it's like, oh, okay. So I'm glad we're on the same page because some people have no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
No.
Dude, Gilbert, when you rewatch the English dub of Wing, you're gonna love the voice of General Septum.
I have to check it out.
There's some that's great, but then there are some you're just like, are you trying, or are you just trying to be funny? Or then again, this was like it's like late '99, early 2000s. So, and then you see how many voices they recycle in that series too.
When you actually if you've ever listened to any of the YouTube commentators, they'll do a retrospective reviewing of Wing. So many people hate it. It's a lot of the commentators that are on YouTube. They're I guess they compare it to what's new. But when it came out in '95, this was the animation was revolutionary. It was a different concept. So I think they're trying to compare it to the newer stuff, and you can't. It's something that came out at that time.
It would be the series that came before Wing.
It would be. I think that was G Gundam, because I know G Gundam, Wing, and I think Gundam X came out within the same time frame. I believe. So the animation's still very simple, very similar.
Yeah.
I got really confused when I saw Gundam X for the first time. When I was in the Philippines for vacation, when my relatives got me a DVD of Gundam X, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll check this out." And when I saw the animation, is this a sequel to Wing? Because the animation looks too similar.
It's they're done the same way. If you were to compare that, and then you compare some of the animation, take those three, then you compare that animation to 0083. It's very, very similar because it was in that same decade. Not only that, but I think the funny thing, and I saw this when I watched the episode, I think in one of the last two episodes of G Gundam, I believe, there was a cameo of Wing Zero in one of them.
Yeah.
And it was very quick, but you could see it.
It was a regular Wing.
Huh?
It was the first Wing Gundam.
Yeah, and you can see it. It's very quick, but you can see it. And I'm like, oh, look at that. That's crazy.
I noticed, I was just rewatching the ending of G about 2 weeks ago, and then I noticed Zeta Gundam was there too, and Victor.
Okay, that I didn't see.
Yeah, Zeta's there. He was in the same frame as Wing, but just off to the side a little bit.
Well, I know what I'm going to be doing for the next week since, I'm kind of stuck inside. I actually rewatched Gundam Wing last month, and I stopped at episode 49. I haven't gotten to episode 50 yet. But I was watching it, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't, I miss this so much. And I'm watching it, I'm looking at the animation compared to now, and I'm like, okay, animation-wise, it's come a long way, but I'm like, but this is still freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still good. It's so good.
And in terms of we can segue onto the Gundam Wing 25th anniversary now. We've pretty much all put our piece so far into when we started. Of course, it was Gundam Wing. It was one of the, I think it was one of the 3 headlining shows of early Toonami. It was Ball Z, Sailor Moon,
and then Gundam Wing. You're right.
Yeah, those 3 were the first I can remember. But okay, so looking at my notes here.
Good job, you made notes.
After we watched it, did you rewatch it in dub or sub?
I've seen them in both.
Okay.
Initially, you watch it you watch it dubbed.
A bit of it as well. And yeah, the English dub, some of it's good, but half of it is pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the best performances was Zack's Brian Drummond, early Vegeta.
Brian Drummond is awesome.
Yeah. I can never remember for the life of me the English voice of Hiro. I'm just I know it's his character to be so emotionless and dry, but I'm just like, Jesus Christ, where's the world's smallest violin?
Yeah, that's one thing that I remember about because I've only seen it on the English, and I'm really not a fan of him. Also, like Relina, oh my god, she kills me. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Like, remember that scene of her? I think at the end of episode 1 or something, she's like standing on that cliff by the beach she first met, and she's like, "Come out and kill me!" I'm like, this girl is crazy.
I'm here for you to kill me, and I'm like, what? I couldn't even believe for her that she even said that.
Yeah, she just follows the guy and says, "Yeah, I'm going to kill you." Okay, then she follows him, and it's like, really? Okay, lady. And then Duo saves her. And what are you doing? It's like, he had a gun on you, lady. Like, yeah. Really?
Other guy's performance I liked. Duo Maxwell.
I like Duo.
His English voice, man. Like, it sounds like he's trying to do stereotypical New Yorker. And then years later, when I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And hearing Joey Wheeler's voice, I was like, I think these two could be related somehow.
Well, the thing about his voice actor, Scott McNeil, for me, is that, going into me liking Mech, is that the first time I saw Wing, and I heard Duo, I'm like, oh my god, it's freaking Dinobot from Beast Wars.
What?
That was the first thing that popped up. I'm like, oh my god, it's the voice actor from from Beast Wars. It's freaking Dinobot. If you've never seen Beast Wars, it is.
Yes. But I don't remember the voices of the characters, though. It's been so long since I watched
it was bad. Oh my god, I was in a.
I remember watching that every morning before school.
It was awesome. But yeah, he did an excellent. If you just go back and look at on YouTube, look at Dinobot's best moments. I mean, he was great as Dinobot. He was great as Duo Maxwell. And it took me like half the series just to stop thinking of him as Dinobot the entire time. So that was they picked good voice actors, I think. And then you had you had Troa, who come to find out is the same voice actor as Tien. He's also if you ever watched Yu Yu Hakusho, he's Kurama.
Wow, he told.
Yeah, and so one thing about Wing is that you look at these people, and some people got their start in voice acting doing this, or it kind of made their careers. It's like, oh, this person was from all the way back here, and then you see people doing all this, like, for example, I'm still waking up, and I can't even think of these people's names because I'm old and decrepit, and I'm tired. But voice acting wise, yeah, you have all these people who are, I guess, in my opinion, are legends. And for us growing up as kids, and then those are animes, you're like, oh yeah, this is great. And obviously, like you said, Brian Drummond, first Vegeta, and yet you see him playing Zex, and you're like, I can't see him as Vegeta. And then you look at the voice actor, and you really, really listen, you're like, yeah, that's Vegeta.
Yep. Little pieces of the tone.
Or if you ever hear Zex yell at anybody, you're like, yep, that's Vegeta.
I know. When that line when he's like piloting the tall geese for the first time, I think he goes, "This is gonna take a lot of effort." I'm like, yeah, that's just Vegeta coming out.
True. Or when he yells out, "You guys can fight, well, can't you?"
Oh yeah.
I can't believe I still remember this stuff.
Still on the subject of Wing, along with that, what was your favorite suit from that series? Including Endless Waltz, since we're talking about Wing as a whole.
Favorite character, Pilot. I like Duo. I said that. I don't know. I really like his vibe. It's pretty easygoing, so I like him.
With Duo.
Yeah.
He's like the most relatable.
Yeah, exactly. And then as for like the actual mobile suit, I would say probably I really like the Shenlong and then the Ultron upgrade. I like the dragon hands.
Cool. Edwin?
For me, favorite character if you were to ask 13 or 14-year-old me who their favorite character was, hands down it'd be Duo. And if you were to ask what a favorite mobile suit it would be, it would have been both versions of Death Scythe.
Oh, yeah.
If you were to ask 34-year-old me who my favorite character was after watching it, it's a toss-up between Zex and Trace. Because, Zex is a badass. And, Zex is just freaking awesome. And even though he's trying to find himself during the entire series, but I'm leaning towards Trace because Trace waited. During the entire series, he saw what he wanted, and he's like, okay, I'm going to do this to try to change the world. So he manipulated the Gundam pilots that were just wrecking the planet into killing the people he needed dead.
Yeah.
Then he took over the Romefeller Foundation, got kicked out of that, and then just said, okay, I'll just stay here under house arrest. And then he waited, moved up, and then while he was at it, he said, you know what, I'm going to build myself a Gundam while I'm at it.
The Gundam Epyon. I just made that kit, and it is amazing.
Oh, I've seen it. I actually have the Endless Waltz version here, of course, sitting in a box, but it's there.
Yeah, like when I saw that kit released 8 years ago, I'm like, Endless Waltz, that wasn't in the movie.
That's true. I didn't care. I'm like, I want it, and I got it.
Yeah, and it's like, I was like, it's about time that thing got an upgrade because I remember having I don't have it anymore, but I have the no grade 1:144 scale Epyon, and that thing is ugly.
Well, then again, I think those are also like the first few.
Yeah, but it's like, and you know what? Since we're talking about the Epyon, since the new high grade Sandrock had just came out, I'm like, okay, where's my high grade Epyon? Come on, Bandai.
I'm sure they'll be out soon. But also the my favorite suit would be the Epyon though.
Yeah.
Like right now, that's the suit I broke down and tried to put in D&D, and I killed the game when I did it.
Nice.
But yeah, the Epyon is, I think, just when it came out the gate. I mean, the first visual you see of the Epyon is, it's kind of like a knight. It's in a dark room with a light on it, and it's on one knee, and it's like, what the hell is that? I want that. And then you finally see the next episode, you're like, oh my god, this thing is so cool. And it's the only suit. Yeah, it's a great color, and it's the only freaking suit with no projectile weapons. It's just straight melee combat, and it still wrecks people. Zex used it to blow up Barge. It's like, yeah, I like this. And the other three Gundams were like, oh, what's he doing? Barge is going to fire its cannon. We can't do anything. And Zek's like, oh, F it. I'm going to kill it. And he kills it. It's like, oh, well, crap, it's dead.
Except one part survives till Endless Waltz, and it's the whip.
Yeah, it's true.
This is my headcanon for the Epyon. Like, the final remaining piece of the Epyon was the shield, and then Zex salvaged it and attached it to Talgi's 3. That's my headcanon.
I mean, it works. It actually does make sense, because when Talgi's 3 came out, and I saw that Heat Whip, I'm like, oh my. So
my favorite character in the series I was in 8th grade when Wing came out. I was, I need to do some math here. Maybe 10, 11 years old, I think. And then when I saw Wing, I was like, oh, here was my favorite character. That was 10-year-old me. Now that I'm older, yeah, my favorite character is Zex.
I think when you get older, you can relate to him a little bit more.
Yeah. I just see my Instagram posts, a lot of the Gundams itself is Wing Zero Custom. And that one is legit my favorite. So it's like, it's not angel wings. It's so impractical, but it looks so beautiful.
Yep.
And it's like, going on the designs of the 6 Gundams in the show, like, they are very theatrical looking. Yep. Like one of my friends, he's not really a Gundam or anime fan at all, and he saw me going through my phone and on Instagram, and he saw the heavy arms with all the guns and all that. He's like, that looks like an Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
if arms had a Gundam, it would be the heavy arms. And, like, I don't know, like, more in terms of, like, the Wing Zero custom and the Epion, I mean, this is just my mind estimating. But, so that's supposed to be, like, references, like, Wing Zero's an angel and Epion's a devil or something? I don't know, but I think it's cool. No Gundams have been as theatrical looking as those guys.
Yeah, I think with Epion is interesting because Epion is supposed to be a dragon, right?
Right.
And Wing Zero is supposed to be a bird, hence it's Neo bird mode,
Right.
Wave Rider mode. But I used to think that okay, well, Wing Zero's a knight and Epion's the dragon. But then again, if you look at what the Epion is, what it was built for, and who built it, and the philosophy behind the person who built the Epion, effectively Epion is a dragon knight because of its weaponry and who built it. So that's kind of what threw me off, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's a dragon knight versus a bird,
Dragon
an angel, and I'm like, okay. Then they're like, oh, this mobile suit's evil. It's like, it's not evil. You guys just suck. So I was always trying to figure that out too. I mean, I guess good versus evil or something. I don't know, but that's kind of what I looked at it.
I think that theory is correct though. Like it has that dragon knight kind of feel, especially like when you start thinking about like who assembled it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like and another design that well, the design didn't really come across to me when I was first seeing the series. I was like, what's Sandrock supposed to be? Because I see the shield. Oh, it's a snake. But there's nothing really snaky about that mobile suit in the first place.
It's a very Middle Eastern design.
Yeah, especially with the heat scimitars.
Shotel. They're Shotel.
Oh, that's their name, Shotels?
Yeah, they're actually they're looking at the real weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're I could be wrong on this one. It's been a long time, but no, Shotels are they were from the Middle East or somewhere over there, I believe. I could be wrong, but yeah.
I just learned something today.
That just shows you how much of this crap I've looked at and researched because I keep all this stuff to myself because I never really get a chance to talk to anyone about this ever. It's like I have to keep all the information to myself. Like what first got me into anything sci-fi and space was Star Trek. Star Trek is actually my first love. Don't really get to talk about that too much. Star Wars, you can talk to the entire planet about that. Warhammer 40K, I love that. Don't really know very many people who like that either, so I can't really talk about it. So it's nice to be able to talk about the deep nerdy stuff of certain series I actually like.
Cool. Alrighty. So another thing on Gundam Wing, like the ending theme, it was like that rock-ish cover instrumental of Just Communication, and then years later when I rediscovered Gundam Wing and in the Japanese version, that ending with Relina in like her safari vacation trip, I'm like, what is this? I can see why they left this out on the English dub when it came out.
I agree.
Is this like showing Relina's like rich privilege of going on safari, bothering animals? That's what she's doing.
That's one way to put it.
Bothering a rhino and all that. Like this girl's mauled by rhinos and lions.
I'm not gonna lie, it threw me the hell off because like when I first saw the first time ever saw the opening, I'm like, oh, this opening is awesome. Got rhythm and motion. Yeah. This is good. And then the end comes up and you hear like the and like, what the hell is this? And you see the ending and I'm like, I just saw war and I'm watching this. What just happened? Edwin is confused and I think he hurt himself. So I just thought it was like you have certain animes that have like they're really violent, they're really good series, and then their ending is just like lollipops and rainbows, and it's like, you know what? I just chalked it up to that.
Yeah, like I just remembered like the ending theme song for G Gundam, and then the animation, it's just so boring. Like you had like a bunch of martial arts awesomeness in the show. and the opening sequences, and then the ending theme sequence is just like an image of Rain zooming in over and over on loop. I'm like, this is so boring.
Yeah.
It's Gundam. What do you expect? It's Gundam. People ask me, wonder, why do you watch this? I'm like, and I've watched the series with people who have never watched it before, and they watch it and they're like, it's so much drama, and I'm like, you're correct. It's a war drama. It's, depending on the series you watch, it's a little over the top.
Yeah.
But it's a war drama. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what Gundam is. It's, awesome robots, awesome fighting, but lots of internal monologue about good and evil, because that's what Gundam is. That's how it works. And you give children weapons of mass destruction that they pilot and kill people in.
Especially even crazier ones like Setsuna and Shin Asuka.
Yeah, Shin should have never been. Shin had problems. Shin should have never been. No, Shin should have never been a pilot.
Yeah, and as much as I do like Shin, Zaft should have, did they not screen him, psychologically to see if he fit to fight in a mobile suit? Because, he did see his family get blown up.
No, his family weren't blown up. They got splattered.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They got splattered. And then,
You see them splattered a few times.
Seriously, my first episode I'm watching, and I'm like, hey, that's the battle in Orb, and oh god, his family, Jesus. And then he keeps his sister's phone, and I'm like, I can get that. Then he keeps listening to it. I'm like, oh, he's psychotic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's not crazy at all.
Yeah. Well, with the Zaft leadership in the academy or whatever thinking when they saw this kid.
They're like, so, Mr. Oscar, tell us, why do you want to be a pilot? I saw my family killed by a mobile suit. Now I want to pilot one. All right, works for us. You're in.
You're in.
Oh, talk about PTSD, Jesus.
Oh, man. Yeesh. I wonder who has it worse.
Who?
I'm drawing a blank.
Actually, you know what? You know who I think might actually have it the worst? Up to the point when he died, I think Amuro Ray had it the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really, if you were to think about it, and look at the Gundam lore and read up on what it was doing, because, original Mobile Suit Gundam, he's minding his own business, and here comes Char, and he's like, oh, shit's blowing up. Oh no, hey look, what's that? It's a mobile suit with an instruction manual. Okay, kills Zaku. And there you go, he becomes a Gundam pilot, which is now the theme for every Gundam series, because either a kid jumps into the suit, or someone tries to jack a Gundam. That's pretty... Yep. I mean, hell, the first episode of 0083 was Gundam Jack, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh my god. Yep.
And you look at Amuro, and then, the 1 year war screws him up, and then he vanishes, and then you don't see him again until Zeta, where he's living by himself, because apparently the Earth Federation was like, oh yeah, you're a new type and you're our ace pilot, that's great, you're too dangerous, you're gonna stay here.
They put him under house arrest, right?
Huh?
Didn't they put him under house arrest?
Yep, and then here comes Char, like, hey, Amuro, we need your help. It's like, oh, wow, okay, there's Char. And then they're pissed off over Lala, and then he gets in his mobile suit, again, and he's doing his thing, and then he rejoins the military, and then you see Char's counterattack in 0093, and he's with Londo Bell and Bright. Then he dies.
Yep, both of them do.
Yes. And it's like, boy, Amuro, your life has sucked. Oh, and his girlfriend dies too. So it's like, oh yeah, Amuro, your life has sucked.
Yep. Oh man. What about you, Gilbert?
Who do I think has the worst PTSD?
Yeah, in Gundam.
I love this.
I think Shin. That's why I thought it was so funny that you even brought that up. I was like, I've always thought that. The kid just, I don't know, just poor kid, where do you go from there, I don't know. It's pretty bad when you keep seeing the visions going over and over of the family just being blown up and just an arm here, and then you can see it, like he gets that much pleasure just like when he attacks somebody. They have that same animation that keeps going over where it's like his face is like
Yeah. That's another problem I had with Seed Destiny. As much as I like the series, they keep recycling animation sequences.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
yes.
for him, yeah.
For like everybody.
Yeah, it's like you're watching it and you see something new. It's like, oh, they gave us something new. Thank Christ. Yes.
Oh, something that I realized, like I think yesterday, I was just looking through Gundam Instagram posts, and then it's like I think someone posted the final. I think like some of the final scenes of the last episode of Seed Destiny. And it's like when Shin finally meets Kira face to face, and then when Auden tells him this is Kira Yamato, and then like that realization in Shin's face, like this is the guy that killed Stellar. I should do something right now. But I'm like, oh god.
Well, to be fair,
this makes no sense. And the recording is back up.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell is this? Marvin, what did you do?
There's just going to be a gap, like a very minor gap.
You have failed me for the last time, Marvin.
It's our first episode. Of course this would happen.
You know what? I have a question since I'm curious. With the exception of Gundam Wing, what is your other favorite mobile suit? Just take Gundam Wing out of the equation. What's your favorite mobile suit? I will
UC era.
No, mobile suit period.
Oh, mobile suit period? Universal Century.
No. Mobile suit as in the actual unit. Mobile suit of all the
unit?
Yeah, of period. Of all the series, what is your suit saying, this is my favorite mobile suit, hands down?
Ooh, that's a tough one aside from the Wing series. I would probably have to go with the Unicorn Banshee.
Good choice. Damn good choice. I mean,
it's that giant rage claw it has.
Call it a rage claw.
Yeah.
I know there's an actual technical term. I think it's like the VN or something.
It's like a vibro thing.
Vibro nail, that's what it is.
Yeah, but no. Yeah. Thank you for that, Marvin. Now the next time I watch that and I see it, I'm just going to be like, Rage Claw! Rage Claw! You know what? I might actually find a way to put that in D&D. My guy uses Rage Claw.
And since I did say something about the Banshee, I think my second favorite pilot ever. No, she's on my top 5. She's in my top 5. Probably my 4th favorite. Marita, she's my favorite.
Oh, Marita.
Like, her story is so sad.
Well, she's a good pilot, though.
Yeah, she's a damn good pilot.
And you find out she's a decent person.
First watched that bit of Unicorn when Banaja found out what happened to her after Double Zeta. I'm like, oh, you poor baby, I want to hug you.
Yeah, I like they linked it to Double Zeta, though. Which was nice.
Because the whole Puru 2 thing, and it's like, I was like, wow.
Because I never watched Double Zeta, but I did read up on it, and the first time I ever encountered Double Zeta was Gundam Battle Assault. And the first one on the PlayStation, you could play the Quinn Mantha. And the first time I saw the Kasatri, I'm like, is that the Quinn Mantha? No, it's different.
The first time I saw the Quinn Mantha was in Gundam Battle Assault 2.
And they're still there. And it's a damn good movie. Game, too.
Yeah, I still have my PS2 and the disc, so I'm still playing it sometimes.
Damn right. Wow. What about you, Gilbert? What's your favorite suit?
My favorite suit,
outside of Wing.
Yeah.
Outside of Wing. So, well, all separated. So Gunpla itself, I love the perfect grade endless waltz. That's what I fell in love with. Like just the giant size, perfect grade. That's my favorite suit, the endless waltz wing.
I need to get and build that.
I built like one of the first one. I don't know if they've upgraded the kit, since back in the early 2000s, but I built one of like the first ones when they first came out. I spent $200 or whatever it was on it, and I fell in love with it since then. As for the actual favorite suit in the series, I like the perfect strike. Or just I just love how everything you could put everything on that robot and everything, and just how you could upgrade it. I love that, the customization.
And then Shin got the best of all three worlds with the Destiny Gundam.
Yeah. Give the psycho person the best Gundam ever. One of them.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I remember when 00 and Unicorn came out, it changed my opinion of a lot of stuff. But I'm going to still stick with my original favorite. It was always Zazabi.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Mainly because it was the first suit I ever picked in Gundam Battle Assault. And, but, I mean, if you just look at the suit, and because I have a 1/100 scale, when it came in the big box, I got it, oh my God, back in 07, and it's a beautiful mobile suit. When I saw the Shinanju, I was like, oh, wow, you did the Zazabi justice. Okay, that's all right. You've evolved it. Beautiful. But yeah, Zazabi was always like my favorite. Shara's cool character, and I'm like, yeah, Zazabi's hands down one of my favorites.
I need more Shara merchandise in my life.
I think we all do. But I have another more interesting question for you both. This one might be a little bit harder. Okay. What is your favorite jobber suit? Not a Gundam. What is your favorite mobile suit? Because a lot of people think, oh, that's a Gundam. No, there's a difference. No, a Gundam is a mobile suit, but not every mobile suit is a Gundam. So, I'll give an example. One of my favorite jobber suits that I wish had a better model kit and got more screen time was from Destiny. It was the Gulf Ignited.
Yes, that was mine.
I loved and then when Heine died, I was like, God damn it, really? But
it was only there for 2 episodes. Why?
Seriously. But when I saw the Gulf Ignited, I'm like, I mean, because in Destiny that you had like the Zaku Warrior, they were just referencing UC like it was dying out or something. But the Gulf Ignited, I was like, oh my God, you put Ramba Rawl in this thing, and he would probably wreck everyone's face.
And he did.
He did. I mean, I like the look is still cool. They updated it. It has a flight pack, which is awesome. Matter of fact, I have the mobile suits and action figures. It's sitting right in front of me right now.
Nice.
It's like right behind my dual Gundam. It's broadsword, and I've always liked in Seed and Destiny how they have like your anti-battleship beam sword. It's a sword with a blade. I've always loved that, and in my opinion, I've always thought that was like one of the best takes on melee beam weaponry that's ever been done.
Yeah, I noticed that with the broadswords, the anti-ship swords, that the Strike, the Destiny, the Impulse, and the Gulf Ignited, every time they would bring it out and the sword itself extended and then the beam came out, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's gonna get.
And I always thought that was cool. Like the Destiny, it flipped open. I think the original one, the Sword Strike, it just was a sword. With the Sword Impulse, it was just a sword. With the Destiny, it folded out, and with the Gulf Ignited, it extended. And I was like, that is freaking awesome. So, and the fact that you give this thing a wrist-mounted beam weapon, I'm like, the Gulf Ignited is someone's calling me, and it's spam risk. Not today, Satan. I'm like, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and yet they still want to come at you, man. It's like, go home. Social distancing. Leave me alone. But yeah, I think the Gulf Ignited, in my opinion, is one of the best jobbers who's out there. And someone might shoot me for this. I've always loved the GM and the different versions of it, namely the GM3. I've always loved the GM3. It's even before I even saw it the first time on the screen, I would read up on it. I'm like, I really like the way this suit freaking looks. And then you see it actually do something in that one scene in Unicorn, and you're like, yep, I love this suit.
What about you, Gilbert? What's your favorite grunt jobber suit?
I've actually never even thought about it. Yeah, like I've always just been really more interested in, because I've never like any of the Zakus. I've never got anything into that. I've actually always just been into just the Gundam mobile suits, and because most of my focus has always been on the actual Gunpla, on the model building, then I've never really paid attention too much to the other suits that are on there. So yeah, I don't have one.
Well, I think so far the only it's not a Gundam, but it's a Zaku, and my collection is dominantly Gundams, but a Zaku, the only thing I have is it's a really tiny model kit. It was from this thing called Universal Unit. They're blind box model kits that you would get at Toys R Us or something. 3-4 years ago, and I got Zaku by chance. I was like, yes. It's about a 3 3/4 inch tall model kit.
You can send me a picture of that. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I have 3 of them. I have the Zeta, the Wing Zero custom, of course, and Zaku.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give the Zaku some love, because Zaku doesn't get a lot of love, because Zakus are still cool suits if you really look at them and stuff.
I can never take the act guys seriously.
You could, but then the bear guy came out, and that just killed the whole thing. That just murdered you can never take that suit seriously ever again. Yeah. But you have to give that guy, some credit. I mean, it did knock a Gundam's head off.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah, it got, in my opinion, one of the best shots on a Gundam I've ever seen.
True.
And it was clean.
Oh man, going back to the seed topic, I was just looking up on YouTube worst deaths in Gundam as a whole.
You're gonna bring up Nicole, aren't you?
It got to Stargazer. I'm like, okay, Gundam Stargazer. I kind of know it, but not really.
Oh,
and then there's one chick. She got hit out of the air.
Oh,
and got up on the ground. And then all of a sudden, those grunt suits that look like dogs, Lagos or something.
They're called Bagoos.
Is that Lagu or Zaku or
Bagoos or something like that? Yeah, she was piloting the
they kind of look like Robo Dogs.
Yeah, mm-hmm. They had those beam fangs.
Yeah,
and she was piloting.
They used their beam fangs on the cockpit of that Gundam, and they're just bashing it, and then the girl is screaming, and then all of a sudden her visor and her helmet just fills with blood. I'm like, oh god.
And the funny thing is, I actually really like that suit. That's the Blue Duel. I really like that suit. And then it lost its stuff, and then it died. I'm like, oh, that poor lady.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. that is definitely, in my opinion, the worst death in all of Gundam.
That's an interesting topic. Worst death in all of Gundam. Let me think about this for a second. I'm going to have to give this one some thought, because there's been some bad ones, and I mean some really bad ones.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I know. I think I know I don't know if it's the worst death, but I think it's in the top 3. Gundam 00.
Okay.
The Kyrios. When it grabbed that one suit and started slowly pushing that blade into the cockpit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
And you look at the pilot, and the pilot's just panicking. The suit doesn't work, and you see this blade entering the cockpit.
Yeah.
Slowly, and you're like, oh my god.
This man is gonna burn or getting stabbed.
And you hear him screaming the entire time. And I'm like, oh, that's terrible. But I think the worst deaths or the most brutal deaths happen in Iron Blood Orphans.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it's very interesting because I was watching it and it was hard to get into it, but I finished it. I'm like, okay, it's a pretty solid series. But I was watching it and I'm like, okay, so there are no beam weapons until much later, and even then didn't do crap. And everything is kinetic, everything is physical. So you're not blowing mobile suits apart. You know, you're stabbing, beating them. You're literally beating them into submission. And I was talking to a friend of mine. We were watching it, and he mentioned, "Wow, they're just beating them into submission." And I said, "Yeah, it's not so much you destroy the suit, but you're literally like it's like blunt force trauma. So you effectively kill a pilot before the suit's even destroyed.
Yeah.
Then you have people getting crushed in their cockpit because this one suit had this giant scissor thing." And I'm just like, wow, they gave a mobile suit a giant pair of scissors. Look at that, huh? All right.
Like, damn.
I mean, there are worse ways to die, and they showed the guy getting crushed, and it's like, good God Almighty, this is great.
Yeah, because most of the time it's just like, even though like the beam sword is coming through, like it's just like a flash of light. But yeah, so it's like you don't really see like the too much, or they don't go through too much. It's just like boom, But yeah, on some of those, it gets pretty brutal.
Yeah, I know, right? Then you had the one with the Shinanju killed that one dude in front of the unicorn with his shield.
Yep.
I think
sword thing.
Which was just like, oh well, he died.
But at least it was instant.
True. I mean, he had enough balls to shoot the Shinanju with the rocket launcher. I'm like, well,
that guy's the MVP of unicorn.
Yeah, I'd like to agree.
I still haven't watched Narrative yet.
I did. It's good.
Okay.
It's. I can't say I like the Gundam design. I can't.
Yeah, I saw the model kits of the Narrative Gundam. Like, it looks really incomplete, but I can tell that's a thing. It's like, oh, it's gonna get upgrades. Buy it.
It kind of sort of does, but it doesn't. But for me, I thought it was a pretty solid series. For what story they were trying to tell. And there are cameos from people.
Ooh, I'm interested now.
Yeah, there's two. One happens early on, and this person keeps popping up. There's another cameo that's very interesting, and you're asking yourself, hey, where's this person? Why is this person not doing this? Oh, that's why. So it's a good series. And the fact that I don't want to talk about it because you haven't seen it, so I don't want to ruin it for you. But watch it.
Okay, will do.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have for the notes for this one today.
Oh, that's a pity.
Yeah. So I was mostly covering Wing and then our personal favorites of suits and pilots.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's not on my notes right now, but
watch out, guys. We're going off script. Here we go.
Favorite opening song.
Oh, that's a low blow. That's a low blow, Marvin. That's a really low blow.
You can just say, you don't need to give the name, but like just which series it's from.
I'm gonna give you two.
Okay.
Of course, it's Rhythm Emotions #1.
Yes.
And the opening for 00, Daybreak Bell.
Oh, the first opening. Okay.
Yes, I really, really like the opening, and I like that song. I just like the entire opening sequence is great, and the song is perfect. I like it.
Yeah, I think I made a post about that about a week ago. I was like, man, I did not like 00, but that opening was on fire.
And the fact that you don't like 00 makes me really question whether I should talk to you or not, but I'm gonna let that one go. We'll save. You know what? I'm gonna save that roast for the next episode. Because we're gonna talk about this again, Marvin, and I'm gonna roast you on this.
Hello, Gilbert.
Yes, I'm still here. So,
favorite opening song?
Favorite opening song, I would probably say, is Invoke from Gundam Seed.
Good choice.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. For me, it's two. I have two.
Okay.
Rhythm Emotion.
All right.
For sure that. And the one after that would be the second opening for Zeta.
I cannot remember that.
Just YouTube Zeta Gundam opening 2, and it's amazing. It has a really 80s traditional anime vibe to it in that time era. Just the way how it plays out.
I'll look it up when we get off.
Okay. Alrighty, so that was pretty much all the time we had today and the questions I had. We will most likely be doing the other Tuesday around this time. That will be that. I will get to processing this right away as soon as I can. Thanks, guys, for coming on. I think I just got the name of the show.
You got who?
I think I just got the name of this podcast down.
And that would be?
It's Gundam Models, Gunpla. How about this? Off the Runner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
So.
Okay, that works. I like it. Just, trying to get sued. But yeah, we're good.
Wait, what?
Care for the
carpet name already?
I have no idea, but you know what? Nothing's original these days. But I like the name.
Off the Runner it is. So, Off the Runner, a Gundam podcast.
Yes. I agree with this. Right. I like that.
Cool. Glad you guys like the name. All right, guys. This is Marvin. I will be including our social media links as well for those who want to follow us on the description, as well as on my individual posts about this podcast on my Instagram and Twitter. All right, guys. Have a good one.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye.